All right. Welcome to the second annual Fanboy Oscars. That's right, I said Fanboy Oscars, which we will now call it the Foscars. Now, why did we do this? I'll tell you why we had to do this. You know, just like I know, and everybody else knows, that every year around this time, there's a whole bunch of movies that get nominated that nobody's ever even seen. We haven't even heard of some of these movies. And sometimes we don't even know who some of these actors are. No, that's not true. Because Katharine Hepburn's going to win one almost every other year when she was alive. And I think now the equivalent to that is Meryl Streep or something like that. But at any rate, the Fanboy Oscars, what we're about, well, you know, we're fanboys, we're fangirls, and we know which movies should get nominated. We do, right? Because we're passionate about the films that we're into. Because, I mean, you know, these guys will never watch a movie about these guys, right? So therefore, these guys probably never get to win an Academy Award, or in this case, an Oscars, because these guys have a lot of different tastes. But you don't have to worry about that with the Foscars, because with the Foscars, it's movies that you know, that you've seen, that you think should be at least nominated. So how about this? Why don't we go ahead and get started? Because me, well, I'm Vegabomber, and today I'm just going to be your MC, but the real deal here are my friends who are coming along to help present. And let's get started with the very first category. And that first category is going to be Most Underrated Film. Take it away, Kenneth. Oh, that way.
Thanks, Vega. My name is Kenneth Denson, and I'm one of the owners at Red Pegasus Games and Comics. The Academy, of course, is going to recognize a lot of movies that came out in 2015, but my category is the most underrated movie of 2015. Our nominees are Focus, starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie; Kingsman, starring Taron Egerton; McFarland USA, starring Kevin Costner. And our winner is Kingsman, starring Taron Egerton. Thanks very much, Vega.
Not bad, Kenneth. Not bad. I'm kind of with you on that. When it comes to most underrated film, I thought Focus was a great film. Will Smith hadn't done any really good films. I mean, the last film he'd done before this was After Earth, and there's still a lot of people trying to get the taste of that movie out of their mouth. But Focus was actually pretty good. And hey, it's another chance to see Margot Robbie before we get to see her in Suicide Squad, right? Why not? Don't have a problem with that. And McFarland USA, definitely a good feel-good movie, kind of like maybe Chef was the year before. So if you didn't see McFarland USA, you're missing out. And of course, The Kingsman, come on, that came out of nowhere. Good spoof on the old British films, British spy films, and the villains, yeah. And of course, again, Samuel L. Jackson, yet again, this time with a lisp. Is there a movie he's not in? Anyway, let's move on to the next category. And the next category is Surprise Hit. And let's just get my boys from the Jedi Cole universe to tell us about that. Yo, Cole, it's your turn, man. You're up next. Let us know. He'll tell us.
And this is the Foscars. We've been invited, myself, Jedi Cole, the Jedi Cole universe, and a member in good standing of the Jedi Cole universe,
Stephen Fett.
Stephen Fett, yes indeed, as far as you know. What category are we talking about now? I would be...
It's like a surprise. Oh. It's surprise.
Oh, the surprise hits. Okay,
that's right.
You were just surprising me there.
No.
I wish you did.
But this
is surprise hits. Yes, these are the films that ought to have been in the Oscars, or perhaps were, but maybe had more Oscars. You know, just because they don't have Leonardo DiCaprio in them to a film doesn't mean they're not Oscar worthy. So, what are the candidates, the nominees for a surprise hit?
I would say first one would be Straight Outta Compton.
That's a surprise hit. I think it's one of those things that people were just going to ignore because it's like, oh, it's rap, you know. It's like, no, it's a biopic. Shut up.
It was. It really was.
For those of you who aren't familiar with the term, it's not biological like a bioweapon. It's biography, like Peter Graves.
Another one would also be Creed.
Creed, absolutely. Not to be confused with the band of the same name.
Exactly.
This is
so much better.
This is based on Apollo Who, to quote Mr. T.
There you go.
Or I guess it's his son, right? In Creed, it's like Apollo's son or grandson, or just somebody who called himself Creed. Okay.
No.
Can you tell I haven't seen Creed? But want to. The next one turned out, speaking of confusion, not based on the Bugs Bunny nemesis Marvin the
Martian.
The Martian. Yes, it wasn't Warner at all.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't.
Matt Damon is a astronaut on Mars,
and was left there by accident.
Yeah.
And pretty much had to learn to survive.
It's sort of Home Alone in space.
Yeah.
Only without the wet bandits.
There you go.
Because there wasn't enough water on Mars.
Yeah.
And finally, Sicario. From that is just ought to have been all over the Oscars itself because of the dynamite performances, the direction, and the unique narrative.
Yeah.
That leaves you guessing. So to take the guesswork out of it, who's the winner of who is the number one surprise hit for 2016?
It would be
AKA 2015.
It would be Sicario. Sicario is the number one surprise hit. Yes,
very good. And we're going to kick it right back to you, Vegabomber.
Yeah, surprise hit film. That was a difficult category this year because I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know what those other guys are thinking, but Creed and Straight Outta Compton were good movies, and so was Sicario. So I don't know. I don't know about all that. Anyway, once again, let's move on. The next category this time is going to be Best Comedy, and for this one, Matt, he's the guy. He would know comedies. Matt, you're on.
What's up, Vegabomber? Matt here from The Lost Toys, and we're presenting Best Comedy. First off, we've got Daddy's Home with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. We've got Spy with Melissa McCarthy. We've got Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Back to the Tub, and Trainwreck starring Amy Schumer. I think that's probably my favorite. And the winner is Spy, Melissa McCarthy. It's a good movie. Probably check it out.
Huh. Melissa McCarthy did it this year. Tell you what, much better than Tammy. That effort she did last year in Tammy, it was straight garbage. It was straight headed for the sewer. But this one, Spy, I can get behind. I heard a lot of great things about this film, and still not have yet to watch it, but from what I've read, good stuff. So, hey, can't complain with that one. So let's move on now, shall we? To the next category we go. And the next category now is all about Best Hero. So, Keith's Comics. Michael, you're up. Tell us, who was the best hero in a film this year in 2015?
Hey, thanks. So my category is going to be Best Hero. All right, so let's go over the nominees. We have Eggsy, played by Taron Egerton in Kingsman, probably butchered that name. We have Owen, played by Chris Pratt in Jurassic World. We have Charlize Theron playing the Furiosa, probably not from Mad Max. And we have Tom Cruise playing Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 5. And then we have Daniel Craig playing the always famous James Bond in Spectre. The winner is Charlize Theron as Furiosa in Mad Max. The reason I think we're going with this one is mainly because the other heroes we've seen this year are pretty much your usual heroes. We've seen them before. They've got all the advantages, they've got all the things we normally see. But when you get to Charlize Theron's Furiosa character, this is a character that literally could have just walked away and done nothing. And she does. as well as all the other characters, with the exception of maybe Eggsy on the list, were either told to do it or had to in the case of Owen's character, or they would have died. It's really refreshing to see a character choose to be good. And I think that's why Furios is probably one of the strongest characters of this year. So, back to you, Bomber.
Yep, right on, right on. I can see how you do that. I can see how you could say Charlize Theron was the best, what is it, heroine? Well, you know what I'm trying to say. She was the best protagonist in a film this year. Yes, a strong female character. We did get to see one, and she did it. Strange. Whatever happened to Tom Hardy, though? Anyway, Furiosa took over, and she made the film worth it. So, yeah, I can say I agree with that. So now, let's move on to yet the next category. And the next category is Best Supporting Actor. So, I'm going to go ahead and get my man Juice. Juice is on the loose. Your turn, brother. Take that microphone. Let us know what's up.
Hi, I'm Juice from Keats Comics, and my category today is Best Supporting Actor. Number 1, Tom Hardy in The Revenant. Number 2 is Domhnall Gleeson in Ex Machina. Number 3 is Samuel Jackson in Hateful Eight. And final one is Colin Firth in Kingsman. The winner is Samuel Jackson in Hateful Eight. Did a fantastic job as always. Writing was great, especially the little parts when he put the Lincoln letter and whenever he kind of played mind games with his audience and with the characters. And you don't know what the truth is in all his character development, or what he was saying was a lie. And back to you, Vegabomber.
Well, you know, with Samuel Jackson being in so many movies, it would make sense that every now and again he's going to pop up and win. I mean, he could have won for Kingsman. He could have won for The Revenant. He could have won for, well, not The Revenant, but The Hateful Eight. He was in The Hateful Eight. I mean, he could have just, who knows? Samuel Jackson could have won supporting actor probably any time, right? Because he's Nick Fury. He's also a Jedi named Mace. I mean, he's everything. He's got snakes on the plane. He's been bitten by sharks. I mean, okay, Hateful Eight, Best Supporting Actor, yeah, sure, why not? Of course. Of course, it had to be Samuel Jackson at some point, but good pick. Now, let's go to another category. Best Director of 2015. Again, not an easy task. So, Kenneth, this one's on you. Let's see you do it.
Thanks again, Vega. So this is Kenneth Denson, and I'm still at Red Pegasus Games and Comics. My next category is going to be Best Director. Really the hardest job on any movie out there. We've got five films in this category, and it is Quentin Tarantino with Hateful Eight, a really great movie that was made this year with an all-star cast. George Miller as Mad Max, a movie that stressed me out and made me just like cringe in my chair through the whole thing. Ryan Coogler, Creed, an excellent Rocky sequel, passing off the baton. Alex Garland for Ex Machina, an amazing robotic psychological thriller, and Alejandro Inarritu for The Revenant, where I think they should win an award for Leonardo DiCaprio's teeth, as maybe supporting actors. And the winner is Quentin Tarantino for Hateful Eight. Excellent. Thank you very much, Vega.
Man, I gotta tell you, that category was definitely difficult. I saw all those films on there, and all those films were great. So, you know what? My hat's off to you, Kenneth, for taking that one on and helping us figure out who the best director was in 2015. So now, we're moving on to the next category, because that's what we do here. We move it on. We keep it going, right? No long Oscar-type program here to get you boring with all these other jokes that are canned. We just move right on to it and get to the point. Here we go. And the next point is this. Best Actor. And for that, let's go back to Matt over at Lost Toys. Matt, you're on.
What's up, Vegabomber? It's Matt here at the Lost Toys. I'm going to be presenting Best Actor today. First, we have Benicio del Toro in Sicario. We have Kurt Russell in his mighty mustache in The Hateful Eight. Leonardo DiCaprio chasing that Oscar in The Revenant, getting chased by something else in that movie. Michael B. Jordan in Creed. And, of course, my favorite, Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens. Looks like our winner is Benicio del Toro in Sicario. Sorry, Harrison. Looks like you're not home.
Well deserved. Definitely think Benicio del Toro did a great job in Sicario. If you guys haven't seen it, I would suggest you go out and get it, watch it, rent it, VOD it, find somebody. Don't do the torrent thing. Well, don't do the torrent thing. Come on, support these movies, right? These guys are working, so go ahead, hook them up. They're worth it. You'd want the same thing if it was your job, right? Anyway, let's keep moving, right? So, the next one is Best Actress. Jedi Cole Universe with Stephen Fett. Hey boys, I'm talking to y'all. Get in touch with that feminine side. Let us know who was the best actress this year in a film that you saw.
Well, hello, darlings. Jedi Cole here with Stephen Fett, embracing our feminine side.
We have such women characteristics.
Yes, especially our beards.
Yeah.
If you're Kathy Bates in American Horror Story Freak Show. We're here to talk about a very feminine category.
Yeah, we are. Best Actress.
Best Actress. And this is another one of these categories where the field is wide open. It's often overlooked. For years it's like, let's get this out of the way. We'll get the best actress out of the way so we can get to the real stuff. And it's nice to see that that's trending away from that in the actual Oscars. But here in the Foscars, we are honored to embrace our feminine side with a lot of roles that were decidedly very strong female roles this year for last year. And Emily Blunt, not to be too blunt about it.
Sicario.
In Sicario.
That's right.
Just absolutely tough and rugged and...
she went to a world that she did not expect to be.
Indeed. So take that, Alice in Wonderland. Lynn Chastain is our next actress.
Which was in The Martian.
The Martian.
She was the one that was leading the crew.
She's the one who had to make the big call.
Yes.
Push the button or... it was one of those Star Trek kind of the needs of the many.
Yeah.
I know the needs of the one. Unless it's Matt Damon, you had to turn around and go back. Then, of course, Charlize Theron.
Yes. And Mad Max.
And Mad Max, Fury Road.
Where pretty much she was pretty much the...
I didn't go. I wasn't going to go see this because I misread the title. I thought it was Furry Road.
Oh.
I was afraid it was going to be like a bunch of guys in like wolf costumes. No, thank you. Turned out, no, that wasn't the case. Post-apocalyptic future, anything could happen. Furioso and or Furioso, Furious, Foxy, Furious chick, robot arm chick. In Mad Max. Well, I've digressed. And of course, Alicia Vikander.
And
Ex Machina. Or, depending on who you ask, Ex Machina. For those who are unfamiliar with the Latin pronunciations. Mm-hmm. Ex Machina, absolutely out of this world. Blow you away. If you have not seen that movie, I highly recommend it. All of these are great movies.
All of them are great movies.
And we're very fortunate to be able to present in this category.
Yes.
And so, as the most feminine among us, would you please announce the Best Actress category?
Oh, I never.
Darling.
It would
or
be...
winner, I guess.
Ex Machina.
Thank you for our un-Latin speaking friends.
Yes.
Alicia Vikander.
Yes, thank you. I could not say her name, that's why.
I like that name, Ex Machina.
Ex Machina?
It's really the name of my punk band, Ex Machina.
Whoa, sleeper pick. Alicia Vikander from Ex Machina. Definitely didn't see that one coming. I mean, Emily Blunt, pretty good. I mean, Charlize Theron, pretty good. So didn't see that one coming, but you know what? Good movie. Something like that should happen. I like that. See, you can never predict with these Foscars. You can never really say who's going to do what, and that's what keeps you on your toes, right? Now, this is probably one of the best segments on here as well. And this is the straight sewage movie, the movie that just stinks, P.U. It's just straight up garbage, sewer, smells like manure, all that stuff. And believe it or not, there's a close competition in this category of the worst films, or in this case, the garbage films. And so, let's just kick it right back out there. Cole, I hope you guys didn't get out of the car, because we need you guys to go ahead and do this before you jump out and go to your next gig. Yeah, you and Fett. Hook us up, brother. Hook us up.
Garbage category. This is the worst
movies.
These are movies, if the Oscars had, like, you know, perhaps a Foscar, if you will, for the worst, they should, like, at least, you know, give a nod. I guess what's with the raspberries or whatever for.
There you go. Yeah.
But this is like, you know, if there was a bad movie, like shame on you category for ruining it.
What were you guys thinking?
Yeah. And these are the nominees.
There we go. Number 1, Pixels.
Number 2, Taken 3.
Number 3 is Mall Cop 2.
That's what threw you, was the 2.
Yeah, we should have switched those around.
And then, ironically, number 4, The Fantastic Four. And finally, number 5, Pan. And the danger with calling your movie Pan is being panned by the critics.
Yeah.
You're just asking for it. And so we're here to pan, if you will, all of these movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
How do you go about picking the worst of these 5?
Each one has their greatest things of being so shitty.
Yeah. There's bad and there's really, really bad. I'm going to go ahead. I haven't seen it yet, admittedly. I haven't seen Fantastic Four yet because apparently I was justified. As a comic fan, I don't want to ruin. I don't want that bad taste in my mouth. But at the same time, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give them that a walk. As a comic fan, I'm going to give FF a walk. So there are only 4 now.
Everyone makes a mistake.
Oh yeah, that's true. So, yeah. And if anything, it served a purpose. It was so bad that it forced Marvel. Force them, but Marvel canceled the FF title.
Yeah, and it made other bad superhero movies pretty good.
That's
like
right.
Daredevil and Green Lantern.
Everybody went up a notch. Plus, Marvel
everyone
got
did
the
go
FF
up a
back
notch.
Just in time. So we're gonna move on. We're got Taken 3, Mall Cop 2, and Pan and Pixels. You got 2 P's and 2 numbers. I'm gonna go. What was your? I don't want to. I've got.
I'm gonna give credit to Taken 3. It says 1 and 2 were good. 3 was just, you know, we just had, you know, extra money in the budget and we just wanted to rightly kill it off.
Which one would you say is the worst? I've already picked mine.
The worst.
I
would have to say Mall Cop 2.
Okay.
I would have to say Mall Cop 2.
I'm going to go with Pixels because it was a bad idea from the start.
It was.
And God bless him, Peter Dinklage has made it a point to look for good, solid roles. He's not like taking the Munchkin roles and all that sort of thing. He wants a role where he can act. And apparently he's made so damn much money off Game of Thrones. Like, I can take a little vacation and take the kind of role that other actors of diminutive stature would take. So I'm going to give it to Pixels. Bad idea.
All I know is that if you spent any money on any of those films, yeah, you were probably crying. You probably had many tears in your beers, we say here in Texas in an old country song. Yeah, those movies were straight up pitiful. Just, yeah, you could probably debate which one's actually even worse than that. There's probably many things you could say if anyone was to do a video on all those, because they were pretty pathetic. They were really, really bad. So anyway, now it's the time that you guys have been waiting for. Best Picture. And so on this one, we're going to call up a real smart, handsome guy I know. See if he can go take care of this for us. Best Picture. Let us know, my man. You're up. Bring it home. You're batting. Grand slam. Bases loaded. We need you to knock this out of the park. What's the Best Picture? Oh. Yeah. Welcome. Fanboys, fangirls, welcome to my portion of the show, which I get the category, which is probably the toughest category tonight, Best Picture. Now, if you think about it, in 2015, there were a lot of great pictures, a lot of great movies. People were debating back and forth about which ones were great. So, to prove my point, all I got to do is just list the nominees and you'll see how tough it was. Number 1, Creed. How about that? The film from Ryan Coogler that starred Sylvester Stallone and Michael B. Jordan. Much better than that other film he was in that year, Michael B. Jordan I'm speaking of, which was Fantastic Four, but that's a whole nother story. Also nominated for Best Picture, Mad Max, the George Miller directed film with Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy. Incredible visual assault. The movie just kept you going with just the visuals alone. Very simple plot, but hey, it worked. Number 3, Quentin Tarantino's Hateful Eight. Samuel Jackson, Kurt Russell, and a few other guys I can't think of right now, but a very tense movie, the cinematography, just the stuff that you expect from Quentin. Number 4, Star Wars The Force Awakens. I was one of those people that was there that saw it on opening night. And of course, we'd been waiting for that movie forever. We hadn't had a Star Wars film in 15, 16 years. It came, it delivered, it was fun, it was fast, and it left us with a lot of questions, but it came. The Force definitely awakened this year in 2015. Now we're in 2016. The next nominee, Ex Machina, another slick film that came in. Perfect sci-fi film in almost every way. The writing, intelligent. The movie itself, just the brilliance of the movie was great. If you haven't seen Ex Machina, then this probably doesn't mean as much to you, but go watch this movie. It was great. It's enough to be in Best Picture. And then finally, the final nominee for Best Picture of 2015, Straight Outta Compton. Yes, this time F. Gary Gray comes out with yet another good film. And he has the story of telling the biopic of NWA. And here's the thing. This biopic is the #1 music biopic of all times. It did well over 200 million. Yeah, before that, it was the Johnny Cash story with Joaquin Phoenix, another good music biopic. But now, you want me to tell you what the #1 film is, or Best Picture in this case. And that's a tough one, so fanboys, fangirls, I need your help, because, if it'd be me, it'd be Creed, but, let's see. What do you got? What? Okay, so the fanboys have definitely spoken. And the Best Picture of 2015 is the movie with Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy, Mad Max. Wow. That was a tough go. Myself, Creed first, maybe Mad Max, maybe then Hateful Eight, maybe then Force Awakens, I don't know. That was an incredible group. But anyway, now back to the studio for the closing comments of the 2016 Foscars Award. I'm Vegabomber, and I'm out. Peace! Well, fanboys and fangirls, that's it. Thank you for this second annual Foscar Awards for 2016. This is only our second year doing it. We're going to do more. We're going to open up more categories as we keep going. But we thank you for watching, listening, voting, and commenting about these films. We'll do it every year because we know until the Oscars get their situation straight, just come on over here to the Foscars because we're passionate over here as fanboys and fangirls. We'll make sure that the movies that you saw this year get their proper due. But until then, I'm the Vegabomber, and I'm blowing up and I'm blowing out. One more year down. You know what? It's going to be tough to do next year. Just even thinking about trying to do the Oscars for next year is going to be crazy. I mean, Civil War, oh my gosh, X-Men Apocalypse, Batman v Superman. Oh, it's going to be crazy.